Hello everyone, this is the third film strip from the Soviet era. You can watch more in the playlist. Uncle Styopa. In a dwelling, 8/1 by Ilyich stand, lived a citizen so tall, known as Kalancha in the land. By the surname Stepanov, and by name just Stepan, among the giants of his district, he was the foremost man. Uncle Styopa was respected for his towering height. When he'd walk home from his work, he was a sight. Boldly measuring his steps, his 2 huge feet took strides, boots of size 45, where his toes would hide. He sorted markets for the grandest shoes to wear, searched for trousers of a width quite rare. Buying with a sigh, to mirrors he'd turn, only to see the tailor's work at seams burst and burn. Over any fence with ease, he'd from the pavement peer, dog barks rising up. They thought a thief was near. In the dining hall, Uncle Styopa would claim a double portion for himself, his appetite to tame. Laying down to sleep, Uncle Styopa in his bed would rest his legs upon a stool from toe to head. Seated, he'd reach for books, from shelf to lap they'd swoop. And in cinemas, they'd say, "On the floor you might as well stoop." But to the stadium, he'd go without a fee, passed as Uncle Styopa thought a champ to be. From gate to gate, known by everyone in sight, where Stepanov worked, lived, and shined his light. For faster than the rest, without much ado, he'd retrieve kites for kids from wires they flew. And those of lesser height, at parades, he'd raise, so all could see the army in its marching phase. Loved by all was Uncle Styopa, respected through and through, the best friend to every child, in every courtyard anew. Hurrying home from Arbeit, "How are you?" Kids would call, he'd sneeze, and in unison they'd wish him well, one and all. Uncle Styopa, early morning, from his couch would bound, windows wide open, a cold shower found. Brushing teeth was never missed by Uncle Styopa, it said. A man on a saddle, dragging feet along the tread. That's Uncle Styopa riding a donkey, quite the view. People shout, "A camel's what you need," as if on cue. On a camel then he rode. The crowd laughed at the scene. "Hey, comrade, from where do you hail? The camel's squashed, so lean. With your stature so immense, an elephant should you mount." Just 2 minutes left for Uncle Styopa to the jump to count. Underneath his parachute, slightly trembling at the height, while below, the crowd roared, "A tower wants to take flight!" Into the shooting range, under a canopy so tight, Uncle Styopa barely fit, a target in his sight. "Let me pay for shots," he'd say, aiming with keen eye. The cashier, worried, would reply, "On your knees, you might try." For without a gun, your reach could the target strike, a hand's throw away, like riding a bike. "What's happened? What's this scream?" A cry for help, a plea, "A student's drowning!" from the cliff into the sea. Before all eyes, Uncle Styopa into the water dives. "Extraordinary," they shout, "to his knees the depth survives." Alive, well, and unharmed, young Vasya Borodin, saved by Uncle Styopa, a hero's deed akin. For his noble act, thanks from all he got. Ask anything, they said, but he wanted naught. "I saved him without a thought for reward," he'd claim. A locomotive rushes by, the engineer looks ahead, aflame. "From station to station, many trips I've braved," he boasts, "but I bet this is a new semaphore we've crossed." Approaching the semaphore, what is this illusion? No semaphore at all. It's Stepan, causing confusion. He stands there saying, "The path's washed out by rain. I raise my hand to show that the way is not plain." What's this smoke overhead, this thunderous sound by the road? A house on fire, around the corner, a crowd in watch mode. The fire brigade sets ladders, saves the house from flame. The attic's ablaze, pigeons trapped, a shame. In the crowd, the children to Uncle Styopa speak, "Will our pigeons burn with the house so bleak?" From the sidewalk, Uncle Styopa reaches the attic. Tall, through fire and smoke, his hand extends, saving all. He opens the window and out fly the birds, 18 pigeons and a sparrow, joining the sky herds. Grateful to Stepan For saving the birds so dear, they advise him to join the fire brigade, it's clear. But to the firefighters, Stepanov says, "No thanks, I'll join the Navy if my height ranks." And now the kids are proud. To pioneers, a tale to dock, familiar with Uncle Styopa, the true sailor rock. He heads home from Arbat. "How's life?" the kids inquire. And now they call Uncle Styopa the beacon, their inspire.